Look, I know exactly what you're thinking. You're thinking that SMMA is either already saturated or it's going to become saturated very, very soon. And I completely understand why you would think this, right? There's people like me and others out there that are teaching other people how to start SMMA, while me and those other people also have our own SMMA businesses. So in short, there's basically just a lot more people offering SMMA services. And if you're familiar with basic supply and demand economics, look, if the supply keeps going up, right, and there's more people providing SMMA services, but if the demand from businesses stays the same and is not really increasing, well, that's going to lead to one thing. That means that our price is going to go down. Meaning, if you want to start SMMA, the amount of money that you can charge a client and the amount of money that you can make is going to go down. So that's just bad news because one, we've got more competition because there's more people competing and offering SMMA services. And two, even if you can stand out from the competition, you're probably going to have to charge cheaper prices. But that only applies if that first statement is correct and if SMMA is becoming saturated. And I can say with pretty much 100% confidence it is not saturated, and it is not going to be saturated anytime soon. I'm going to explain to you with a bunch of reasons why this is not true and why this is not going to be true in the near future. Okay, so first off, you're probably assuming that every business owner knows that they need to be on social media, right? Everybody's been talking about it. You know, social media has been at such a long time now that businesses surely understand they have to be on there. Also, with the pandemic and all of the craziness that came with that, you would think that most businesses have made that switch, right? And most of them have moved online. And yes, you would be right. A lot of businesses have moved online. Now, out of those people that have moved online, guess how many of them have no idea how to run their social media correctly, how to run advertising, or how to actually use it to make money for their business? A whole lot of them. And as I mentioned, that's only the pool of people that have actually moved online. There is still so many businesses that are either shut down currently or they've reopened that are not doing literally anything online. Or if they are doing anything, they're doing the bare minimum. They're posting one photo on Instagram per week. They're running $50 ads. They're running $5 a day Facebook ads. They're doing no email marketing, and pretty much their whole presence is a bit of a shambles. And that is good because that means there's opportunity. So if a business is already doing marketing, a lot of them are not doing it well, meaning you can come in and improve that for them. And if they are not, you can be that person to bring them online. Now, as the world seems to be opening up a bit for the time being anyway, the demand for social media and Facebook advertising and Google advertising services, it's going to go up. Because as I mentioned, we've got these businesses that were closed down, they're reopening, and this time they're probably not going to take it for granted. They're going to understand that I have to move online if I want to be around in 12 or 24 months. That is very good, because if you remember our little analogy at the start, if supply is high and demand is just kind of staying the same, price will go down. But if demand is coming up and matching the supply, we're going to be in a much better position, which means you can enter the market, you can start an SMMA business, and you can make money. Also, another key point to consider is think of the number of businesses that open up every day and every week. I don't even have the number to hand, but I know it's a huge number. And guess what? A lot of these new businesses are self-funded or they don't have a huge amount of budget. And for them to pay one of those big agencies that charge 10 or 20K a month, it's just not realistic and it's never going to happen. That's why there is space for someone like you who can come in and offer services for maybe 500, 1,000 or even 2,000 per month. So there's going to be more demand and the existing supply may not be a good fit for them because again, we could be looking at these new startups that need help, but then these big agencies that charge 10 or 20K a month to their clients. Them two are never going to have a relationship straight away. It's not going to fit. Maybe in some years' time, when this business has grown and the startup has a lot more funding, in that initial stage, they're not going to be able to afford that big agency, which again gives the opportunity to someone like you. Now, for some of you watching this video, you will experience SMMA saturation. But not every one of you, because you can experience saturation in a market if you are competing in a red ocean. A red ocean simply means that you're in a little kind of subsection of the industry where everybody's doing the same thing, they're all saying the same thing, nobody's really taking the lead, and you're all just trying to compete on price and things like that. Now, a blue ocean, which I'm probably going to butcher this definition as well, but from my understanding, a blue ocean is a little kind of subsection of the market that doesn't really have competition. And one way that you can get into this blue ocean instead of this already existing red ocean, which a lot of people fall into, is by picking one niche and one service. So if you want to start SMMA, you don't start offering social media, email marketing, and Facebook ads. If you do that, you're going to get into this red ocean, you're going to be competing on price, you're going to be competing with everyone else out there, and it's going to be very, very messy. It's literally going to be a bloodbath. Now, let's say you come in, right, and you've got a ton of experience in a certain industry from a bunch of work you've done before, or you just know a lot about that industry. Now, if you pick that as your one niche and you become obsessed with their business model, you understand it inside out, you understand the customer journey from seeing the product and actually becoming a customer, but you also understand their clientele really well. And then if you pair that with offering to them one key service that you know they need, not just some random service that you found online that other people are offering, but a key service that this type of business needs, you are going to be able to get into that blue ocean where you don't really have competition, you have a unique selling point, and selling to a business when you have this unique proposition is 10 times easier. For example, my SMMA business, what we offer is mainly content creation and some social media service. And we offer this service to pretty much one type of business. Now, we're at a decent scale, so we can afford to widen that scope a little bit. And we probably have kind of two ideal clients that are in slightly different industries. But when we were starting, and what we did to scale very, very fast to go from pretty much zero to about 10K per month in revenue in 45 days, was becoming really good at one thing for a specific type of business, and in that we created this unique little selling point for ourselves. Because even if we didn't have a ton of results or a ton of experience, we had this unique way of offering a key service that this type of business needed, and we were doing it specifically for them. So we knew their language, we knew their customers, we knew everything about their business, that when they were on a sales call with us, of course they were going to go with us. We knew everything about their business. So we were able to beat the other agencies they talked to who had big retainers, they had a ton of experience, they had great case studies and all of these things, but they didn't know that industry inside and out. So my point being is that you are going to experience SMMA saturation, and you're going to come back in 2-3 months and you're going to say, Adam, you were wrong, it's saturated, nobody can make money in it. And the reason being is because you're going to fall into that trap. You're going to offer maybe a bunch of services, you're going to try and offer it to anyone, and you're not going to spend that time becoming obsessed with that industry, and they're going to see through that. And the potential clients that you speak to are going to see through that, and they may not hire you. But look, I completely understand why you would do that, and I've definitely fallen into doing that myself as well. You're trying to do it all. You think, look, if I can just cast the net as wide as possible, right, I'll just catch as many fish or as many clients as I possibly can. Whereas if I keep it narrow, well, I'm not going to get anyone. And I understand where you're coming from, and that makes logical sense. But with a business like this, we do have to go narrow. We have to be specific in what we offer. And the reason being is that you've cast this net nice and wide, right? So you're hoping all the fish will swim in. But the problem is that your bait is just not tasty. None of the fish want your bait. So you can have the net there all day, every day, and you can reach out to every business owner under the sun. But because your bait isn't tasty, they're not going to go for it. So if you're pitching every gym, restaurant, bar, club that you see, and you think, look, eventually one of them's going to bite and will become successful, that may happen. Is it possible? Yes. Is it going to happen? The chances of it happening are a lot lower. So how you are going to avoid SMMA saturation and stand out from the 90% of agency owners that make no money or make a very, very small amount of money is you're going to pick one service, one niche, you're going to pick one service, you're going to pick one niche, and guess what? You are going to commit to that, not for 2 months or 3 months because you want to make a quick bit of money. You're going to commit to that for the next year. And if you want to speed up that journey, you're going to follow the steps of someone who's done it before you and someone who has done it quite successfully. So if you do want to learn from me on a weekly basis and have a coaching call with me every Monday for over 1 hour and get access to all of the templates, scripts, and pretty much everything I've used to build my 6-figure SMMA business, check out the 6-figure accelerator program that is linked in the description. And if you do want to book in a call with myself to see if you would be a good fit for the program, go down below, look through all of the material and book a quick 10 to 15 minute call with myself. So I will leave it there, guys. Hopefully you don't fall into that trap and you don't see SMMA as this saturated business model, because it is definitely not, and it's all about how you look at the business. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.